Landing gear retracted. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1, engage. Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete.
Sirius Corporation ejected from Riot. Pilots Federation alert. The Riot Mining Coalition has succeeded in forcing Sirius Corporation to withdraw from the Riot system. Despite the Megacorp's strategic defense pact with the Alliance, Riot's controlling faction claimed the Sirius megaship Chariot of Rhea was an illegal intruder. This resulted in open conflict, which has ended with Sirius Corporation's defeat. Fergus Cassidy, CEO of the Riot Mining Coalition, transmitted this message. With the support of many brave pilots, we have prevented Sirius from sinking its claws into the Riot system. I hope our victory will convince the Alliance's leaders to think twice about their deal with the devil. Captain Delfina Dominguez has confirmed that Sirius Corporation has started to withdraw from Riot. The megaship Chariot of Rhea will leave Riot and jump to the Listi system pending further discussions with Allied leaders. Sources have confirmed that permits to the Alioth and Sirius systems have been allocated to independent pilots depending on the faction they supported during the conflict. The Assembly has held emergency meetings to debate this turn of events. Councillor Ainsley Niven, who represents the Riot system, delivered a warning to Prime Minister Mahn. You have invited Sirius Corporation to provide military aid against the Thargoids, but without seeking the approval of those we are pledged to protect. That is not the way of the Alliance, no matter how grave the threat. Help needed to crack the NMLA's network. Pilots Federation alert. The affiliated counter-terrorism unit has launched an effort to locate and decipher the NMLA's dark comms network. The request was sent by Captain Saskia Landau, one of ACT's co-leaders. ACT is working to gain access to the Omega Grid version that was provided to the NMLA by its mysterious benefactors. Most of our agents seconded from the IISS have been recalled, and some Senate leaders are blocking our progress. Therefore, we urgently need support from independent pilots, which will contribute to our wider efforts to decrypt the network. To begin with, we have triangulated the possible location of an Omega Grid beacon somewhere within the Ep.201 system. If it can be found, this will validate our strategy and quickly lead to further discoveries. Messages relayed across this network are likely to be encrypted. Our analysts have put together a partial cipher key from other data. Any files recovered from the beacon may help with deducing the rest of the cipher. If the beacon in the Ep.201 system is found, any pilot who scans it can expect further instruction on subsequent days. The partial cipher key is as follows: A equals H, B equals G, C equals J, E equals L, F equals K, L equals Q, M equals T, O equals V, P equals U, Q equals X, S equals Z, T equals Y, U equals B, V equals A, W equals D.
Surface scan complete.
Help needed to crack the NMLA's Hudson attempts to remove presidential limit. The federal government has announced plans to extend Zachary Hudson's term as president beyond the legally allotted span. Every Federation president serves a single term of 8 years. President Hudson assumed the role in June 3301, and is therefore due to step down in June 3309 following an election to select his replacement. Secretary of State Lana Berkovich delivered the proposal to Congress. We live in extraordinary times, and all signs point to further challenges in the coming years. Our people deserve a steady hand at the helm rather than being forced to change political course, especially with the tempestuous developments found within our neighboring superpowers. It is therefore in the public interest that we temporarily suspend the arbitrary 8-year limitation to allow President Hudson to continue steering the Federation through the coming storms. Shadow President Felicia Winters condemned the proposal. Hudson has already violated the federal accord with his surveillance laws, but now we can see how little he values our Constitution. This is the act of a dictator, not a democratically elected president. A few Republican congressmen reluctantly agreed with Winters, joining calls for President Hudson to withdraw the proposal. However, political analysts believe that Hudson enjoys the support of his entire cabinet and a majority of the Republican Party. New Thargoidus. fall of Aegis. Shutdown procedures for the anti-Xeno organization are continuing, despite Aegis's warnings that Azimuth has returned. Conrad Sterling reported on the situation for Vox Galactica. We now know that the Alexandria megaship was targeted by a hostile force that could be Azimuth Biochemicals, the 200-year-old corporation which owned the Adamastor and Hesperus. In the face of this new evidence, Aegis leaders have petitioned for it to be reinstated. Even while accounting for this new evidence, the Bauman report has exposed a litany of organizational failures within Aegis. There is still a broad consensus among politicians that the organization should have done more to repel the Thargoids. Many senior military figures have switched focus to Aegis's controversial rival Salvation, despite his mysterious nature. As one Imperial Navy admiral succinctly put it, Salvation's methods have proved more effective in counteracting the Thargoid threat. The issue of military staff defections also appears to have been resolved. Alliance, Federal and Imperial fleets have opened channels of secondment, allowing naval crews to voluntarily take positions aboard Salvation's vessels without resigning their commissions. However, one of Aegis's requests has been authorized. There will be a public ceremony to posthumously award Medals of Honor to Captain Jacob Morales and the 4,000 people who lost their lives aboard the Alexandria. Concerns raised over Alliance Sirius Pact. The recent battle in the Riot system has caused Sirius Corporation to question the terms of its partnership with the Alliance. The Alliance Tribune's political correspondent Vanya Driscoll reported, when Sirius Corporation megaships arrived in 4 Allied systems, it's fair to assume they anticipated a degree of public resistance. But being directly attacked by the Riot Mining Coalition clearly wasn't part of their risk assessment. Leon Rui has urgently sought assurances from the Alliance that such conflicts will not happen again. The Megacorp CEO claimed that he has a duty to protect his employees from aggression by their own clients. In response, Prime Minister Edmund Mahn personally guaranteed that this unfortunate incident was a one-off, stressing that Sirius personnel have been welcomed in the Alioth, Arampox and Dijian systems. He added that the Alliance Defense Force is working closely with Admiral Nicholas Glass, the Sirius Navy's representative. But others in the Assembly are now openly questioning the wisdom of the Strategic Defense Pact. Although Councillor Nakato Kane's opposition to Mahn is often viewed as predictable, more members now agree with her that many allied factions will reject the assertion that Sirius Corporation is an ally to be trusted. Arisa rescued from year-long captivity. Emperor Arisa Lavigny Deval has been found alive after being secretly imprisoned by the private military firm Darkwater Inc. The Imperial Herald published a special report on recent events. The absence of the Emperor from public life for over a year has prompted much speculation. The Senate claimed that she was being kept safe from assassination attempts by the NMLA, and that they remained in contact with her. In truth, she was being held captive by the NMLA's secret benefactors. This group of Imperial senators referred to themselves as the Lords of Restoration. They were revealed only after ACT recruited independent pilots to help decipher the terrorists' dark comms network. Chancellor Blaine immediately ordered the Imperial Guard into battle against Darkwater soldiers. A ship fleeing from the Summerland system was intercepted, aboard which was a cryogenic pod containing the Emperor herself. She was swiftly returned to Capital, and is currently under the care of the Imperial Palace medical team. The IISS has launched a security operation based on ACT's information. This reveals that groups within the Senate, Darkwater and Imperial Intelligence formed a long-running conspiracy to fund and empower the NMLA. Senators Alberto Gueron, Carl Nerva, Ursula Torquatus and several others have been placed under arrest. ACT has stated that it will provide additional information soon. Colonia Bridge project enters final phase. Pilots Federation alert. Deliveries have been requested in the Alcor and Colonia systems to implement services to the Colonia Bridge starports. A press release from Brewer Corporation provided the details. The fourth and final phase of our Colonia Bridge project will take place over the next 4 weeks. Our goal is to finish constructing the starports that were recently added to the route between the Colonia and Alcor systems. For the first week, we require deliveries of coffee, emergency power cells, geological equipment and liquid oxygen to McDonald's settlement in the Alcor system and Jacques station in the Colonia system. If we receive sufficient commodities, we can add universal cartographics and Vista genomics to all 6 stations. Everyone at Brewer Corporation was impressed by the galactic community's dedication to improving the travel corridor to the Colonia region. For this week's initiative, contributing pilots have the opportunity to be rewarded with a generous number of credits. In subsequent weeks, we will be offering a variety of additional rewards. Following feedback from our shareholders, we also plan to install beacons to recognize the major contributors to all phases of the Colonia Bridge project. The top 10 contributors of every past and upcoming Colonia Bridge initiative will be listed on these beacons to immortalize the names of these pilots. The Colonia Bridge starports currently offer rearm, refuel and repair services as well as basic commodity trading. The second, third and fourth weeks of this phase will focus on adding further services. Thargoid assaults in 3 systems. The Ep.201, Dan and Norni systems have come under heavy attack by Thargoid vessels. Vox Galactica featured this report by freelance war correspondent Jade Sanderlin. The Thargoids have been unusually aggressive in recent months, as attested by the drifting wreckages of many independent ships. When Salvation repelled their forces from the Delphi, Maya and Merib systems in December, some believed it was only a matter of time before the aliens retaliated. It appears that time has come. Although the Thargoid species is often viewed as territorial, on this occasion they have pushed further towards human space. Authorities in all 3 systems were unprepared for the incursions and have sent out a general call for assistance. The superpowers are still in the process of forming their anti-Xeno task forces, and thus unable to help. Fortunately, Despite Aegis being officially defunct, some of its support megaships have yet to be decommissioned. These have been staffed with emergency crews and rushed into service in all three systems. As pilots race into combat once more, many must be wondering if the risks are now even greater. Have the Thargoids extended their reach into human space? Which systems might they strike at next? And is further escalation a price to be paid every time Salvation's superweapon is deployed?